Hello and welcome back to the Chess Problem Challenge. Today we'll continue with our topic of checkmate with knight. Here is problem 43. In this problem we have the king on g5, we have the rook on g8 and the knight on d5, while the black king is on h7. Please pause now and find the checkmate for white. Okay, let's take a look. The black king has not much room for escape, but he can take a rook on g8. So that means when the knight attacks the black king, it also has to protect the rook, which is achieved by the knight moving to the f6 square. And now it is attack to king, the white rook is protected, and this is checkmate. Let's move on to problem number 44. In this problem, we have the white king on g6, we have the knight on e5, we have the black king on h8, we have the rook on g8, and the black pawn on g7. Please go ahead and pause and find the best move for white. Okay, let's take a look at this one. Here, the black king is completely stuck. He cannot eat his own pieces, and he cannot go down because of the white king on g6. This means that if my knight goes to f7, this is checkmate. Let's move on to the next problem. In this problem, we have the white king on g1, we have the bishop on f6, we have the knight on g4, we have the black king on g8, the black rook on f8, and the pawns are on f7, g6, and h7. Please pause now and find the checkmate for white. Okay, let's take a look. Again, the black king cannot escape because the white bishop is covering all the escape routes, and the black king cannot eat his own pieces. So if we take the knight and place him on h6, this would be attacking the king and declaring checkmate. Let's move on to problem number 46. In this problem, we have the king on g1, we have the knight on h2, and we have the black king on g3, the black pawns are on h3, g4, and f4. We have the black squared bishop on f3 and the black queen on h4. Now it's a good time to pause and find the winning move. Okay, here black has a lot of material and is definitely winning the game, but the black king is in a terrible position, surrounded by his own pieces, and the only thing left to do for white is to take the white knight and place it on f1 to declare checkmate. Now for problem number 47. In problem number 47, I will show you one of my most favorite games. Pawn goes to e4, black replies pawn goes to e5. The knight goes to f3, the black knight goes to c6. Bishop comes out to c4, pawn goes to d6. The other white knight comes out to c3, the black bishop does the pen on g4. Here is where the trick starts. The white knight sacrifices the queen by taking the central pawn on e5. If black is not careful and eats the queen, the white bishop now checks the black king. The black king cannot eat a bishop because the white knight on e5 is protecting it, so the king has only one place to go, and that's to e7. Now please pause and find the brilliant checkmate. Okay, let's take a look. The black king is almost stuck. He cannot go to any of the white squares because the white bishop is blocking the square e8 and e6, while the white knight is blocking the square g7. So the only escape route for the black king is to go to f6. If we take the white knight on c3 and also put it in the center on g5, this not only will attack the black king, but also block the only escape route that king had on f6. This is checkmate, and it's called legal's mate. Now for problem number 48. This problem is actually for the black pieces, so let's flip the board. Okay, let's start. The white pawn goes to e4. Black replies with pawn e5. The knight comes to f3. The black knight comes to c6. The bishop goes to c4. And here, black does a little trick. They take their black knight and push it to d4. If white gets greedy and instead of trading the knights, eats the free pawn, then the black queen comes out and forks the white knight on e5 and the white pawn on g2. If white continues to eat the black pieces and does a fork on the black queen and the black rook, the black queen takes the pawn on g2 and attacks the white rook on h1. Then white decides to defend the white rook and place it beside its king, so if the black queen captures it, the black queen will be lost. So now the white knight is still attacking the black rook on h8, which is completely stuck, but because the white king is vulnerable and did not castle, the black queen can capture the pawn on e4 and declare check. Now white has two options. They could block with the queen, but then the knight will just eat the queen and the position would be much better for black. If the white queen decides not to block, then the only option is to move the white bishop back to e2. And here is your problem number 48. Please pause and do your best. Okay, let's take a look. The white king is completely stuck. He cannot move anywhere because of his own army. Everywhere he goes, he eats his own piece. If we take a look at the black knight, there is only two ways to attack the white king. He could either take the pawn on c2, but that will only be a check, because the white queen will eat the knight, and even though the black queen will eat the white's queen, it's still not checkmate, and the game will go on. The correct answer in this position is to take the black knight and move it to the f3 square. This way, the king is attacked, but now white is helpless because the bishop cannot eat the knight, because the queen will attack the white king. This is checkmate. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye.